Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for letting me talk to you a little bit. I loved the show, and honestly, most times you were encountering the wildlife, I was just thinking y'all were a bit crazy because I would not go near a silverback gorilla, let alone try to chase after one. Tell me, when comes to like you're in those moments, you're about to try to find something. Is there like a pump up jam that you have? Is there like a routine that you go through just to like prepare yourself mentally for what I could assume is a lot of adrenaline? Although we could start with you.
I've spent my entire career, last 30 years, working in extreme remote hostile locations. But there's something quite special about being out on the ground with Declan and V, but knowing that you're on the same trail as, a silverback, or on the same trail as, a big male tiger. But the reason that we've been chosen for this job is because we are very good at what we do, and keeping a check and managing that is part of the job, really. But ultimately, I think the biggest thing that we all had to deal with more from the emotional point was failure, because these animals are so elusive, so endangered, and so rare that 90% of the work that we did produced no results. So I think for all of us, it was managing expectation on a realistic level.
I'm thinking about this because I was watching this throughout the entire show and thinking about my state in Utah. So in Utah right now, there's a major push from Senator Mike Lee to sell off about 2.2 million acres of federal land. And that's including like snowbird. And we have an endangered species, actually. We have the Utah prairie dog, as well as our Utah mountain lion that might not be endangered, but is kind of on the list. My question to anyone would be, what impact would development near critical wildlife habitats have on species like that?
A massive, massive impact. Like you can't, you're almost changing their whole world. If you're going in there and digging up the ground, all these new noises, all these people coming through, traffic, it isn't going to be good for the animal. So yeah, it would definitely play a massive part, especially if you start digging up prairie dog holes. Yeah, it'd be sad. It'd be sad to see. So if that's the case, go out there and enjoy it while it's still there, and hopefully they don't do that.
Mm.
We've seen it firsthand, actually, Patrick. Habitat loss is one of the biggest drivers of extinction, for the animals, certainly, that we've been looking at. And ultimately, that's what this series is about: is to highlight these issues like poaching, like habitat loss, and how much of an existential crisis that is for these animals.
It feels so timely, especially now with so many other factors going into the world and what is affecting it. You touched a little bit though about human animal habitat as development kind of encroaches on wild areas. Based on your guys' experience while filming, what are the most urgent threats that endangered species are facing with their habitats overlapping with expanding land use?
Habitat encroachment is one of the factors that affecting these wild animals and bring pushing them to extinction, and then especially in the forest sort of environment. We're talking about the Congo Basin, the Amazon, all that sort of thing. So those that is very crucial in habitat encroachment. You are having humans creating villages around areas like the Congo Basin and the Amazon. That's one of the very crucial and factors.
It's about finding balance, right? So people, we deserve to, move around and live and stuff, but so do animals. So it's about trying to find that balance of not taking too much and leaving enough so animals can thrive.
Final question I have for you guys. If there's anything that us in Utah or in Western states can take away from this show, whether it be our own action, maybe working with lawmakers or trying to push more work done politically, what would you think is the first thing that we could do?
Two things that we hope this series does. One is to inspire people to take action at every level. It's not too far gone. It's not that there's no hope, but we want to inspire people to take action. And anyone and everyone can and should. And the second thing, which is much harder, is policy change at the top. We need to protect what wild species we have left. We shouldn't be pushing in and developing more. That's my opinion.
Awesome. Well, thank you, all of you. I love the show, and thank you for letting me get a little serious with that. Just because with our state going through that right now, we're all a little bit on edge of we want to preserve our lands, and Utah is crazy. You could go north and have a completely different topography than if you went south to Zion. So I'm really grateful that I got to talk to you.
Yeah,
it needs protecting. Thanks, Patrick.
Yeah,